Mike, can you break down for someone like myself who's not familiar with Elgin? Can you just talk at a very high level some of the different pockets or neighborhoods, some dividing lines?
Sure. Well, I mean, first off, when you were referencing the Aurora show, Elgin's about a third of the size population-wise as Aurora. The good parts that we look for is, there's the far east side, the far west side. Really, the sweet spot is right in the middle of both of those. The east side has a lot of older housing stock that there's guys over there that are killing it. They do really well with some of those houses that have been cut up over the years into different rental units. The middle, like along Route 31 to Randall Road, is where we have the majority of our rentals. Those are good price points for single family houses, townhouses, condos.
What are some of those price points? Can you give some specifics there?
Sure. They average, like for the condos, they're around 130,000, townhomes maybe 170, and then get into these great 3-bedroom, 1 or 2 baths that are right around 200,000.
Okay. And then I know it's a very general question, but ballpark rents you can achieve on those type of units.
Yeah, it's the simple 1% rule. So, 130,000 on that condo, we can get 1,300 a month.
Okay, cool.
You have, so kind of going in that 31 to Randall, you have McLean going down the middle there. And you have a lot of newer housing stock. And when I say newer, it's not necessarily 100 years old. It's not last 10 years, but you have a lot of what I like, the 80s and 90s type, especially in the townhomes. So you do get a break from some of the 100-year-old problems that you might in other parts of Elgin. So that's one thing I like about that. You have, what type of, are you investing in kind of all different? Do you have a preference of how old the building is, or?
Well, we really focused on buying all attached and condo buildings. So we don't own any just multifamily buildings, but we may own 4 condos in one homeowners association. Time will tell if that was a good decision or not, but what we looked for were professionally managed, well-run associations that had good reserves, good local managers in it, so that we could take away some of the exterior maintenance and management of those properties.
I'm happy you brought that up, and this will be a side stuff from our agenda, but buying in associations, you have a lot of people that run away from that. So you said already having heavy reserves. Is there certain property managers that manage these that you follow? Is there a certain amount? For me, I've always wanted to make sure it's, there's at least 40 or 50% investors in there. That way they can never be overrun by owner occupied and get rid of rentals. Like, what's kind of dive in a little more about your mentality around that? Because it sounds like you've put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, I mean, most of the big companies around here, like, 𝗵𝘃 or Foster Premier, we like to be in their communities. There's always the nuances that are difficult to deal with a homeowners association. But over the years, what we've learned to avoid are, the 4 or 6 unit buildings that are self-managed. They typically don't have good reserves. It's difficult to get a consensus, even with it's easier to get a consensus with a big group than a small group. And especially when, you need to cover large repairs. You just need those associations that you could spread that cost out further over time. Also when you go to the lenders, they're going to they prefer those communities that are professionally managed, that have the good reserves.